Hey guys, Alex here, and I'm going to do a little video talking about my thoughts on the movie Pompeii. This is the 2014 movie that came out around February, and I haven't seen this movie since February, so my video is kind of a late video for this, but the reason why I want to talk about this now, and the reason why I bought this DVD today, is because August 24, today, is the anniversary of the eruption of Mount Vesuvius. So what I do remember about this movie is that I enjoyed the movie quite a bit, even though it got many bad reviews. And I don't want to say I enjoyed this movie, but I do know, thousands of people died in this horrible natural disaster. But I did enjoy the technical aspects about this movie, such as the special effects and some of the characters in this movie. That said, this movie, it stars Kit Harrington. He plays Milo. He's a gladiator slave, and he was captured in Britannia, and he's taken to this town of Pompeii within the Roman Empire, and he is the star of this movie. It also stars Carrie-Anne Moss, Emily Browning, who's grown up quite a bit, and she plays the love interest of Milo. And then you have Adewale, who plays a slave gladiator, kind of like the main guy, Milo. And then you have Jessica Lucas, who I forgot who she plays, Jared Harris, and then finally Kiefer Sutherland as the Roman bad guy. He plays the Senator Corvus, who was the leader of the expedition that captured Milo at the beginning of the movie. So yeah, this movie, it's historical fiction. Like, the stories of these characters is completely fictionalized, but it takes place within the confines of a historical incident. The historical incident here is the eruption of Mount Vesuvius. Kind of like how Titanic, it's a love story set within the confines of a historical incident, the sinking of the Titanic. So I think of Pompeii as the Titanic of ancient times. So yeah, this movie got a lot of bad reviews, and that's understandable. Because my problem with this movie, even though I enjoyed it, but my problem with this movie is that it's very derivative of other sword and sandal epics, namely a Gladiator. As I said, this guy, the main guy, he is a slave gladiator. He's captured at the beginning of the movie, and then he's taken to a Roman town, and then he's forced to fight all these guys in the arena, and yeah, it just seems very derivative of Gladiator. Like, just keep watching the first 30 or so minutes, and you're instantly gonna be reminded of the movie Gladiator, and there's just no avoiding the similarities. That's kind of unfortunate, because I don't think this movie had to be about gladiators to enjoy this movie. I think this movie could have just been a straight-up romance, and I probably would have enjoyed it more, because I don't want to see another movie set in Roman times that features a gladiator. You can set a movie in Roman times and not be about gladiators. But that said, it was still enjoyable. The action scenes were enjoyable. I did enjoy the character of Kiefer Sutherland. He plays the Roman bad guy. And here's the conflict here. This guy is a slave gladiator. He falls in love with Emily Browning. Unfortunately for Emily Browning and Kit Harrington, that Kiefer Sutherland also has eyes for Emily Browning, and that sets up the conflict. And since Kiefer Sutherland is the Roman guy, he is in a position of power, and he is a senator in this movie. So that said, the beginning of the movie where you see all the gladiator scenes, it's going to feel really, really derivative. But once you get past that, and once you get into the actual explosion, it does become a lot more enjoyable, I think, because the special effects and just seeing all the human drama when this eruption is unfolding, it's pretty powerful, I think. But I gotta say, Kiefer Sutherland does ham it up quite a bit. So in some regards, it's also a popcorn movie. But you also have to remember that this was an actual historical event, and a lot of these historical events, I mean, a lot of the like inspiration for the special effects and what happens, it's taken from this Roman guy named Pliny the Younger. He was actually there during the eruption, and he wrote some letters to the Roman historian Tacitus, about what he saw in Pompeii, and he was mainly talking about his uncle Pliny the Elder, who was a fleet commander, and how he perished in Pompeii. But from his letters, we got this eyewitness account of what happened in Pompeii. So the filmmakers, they read the letters, and they tried to incorporate as much as they could, based on the letters, and they also studied recent volcanic explosions, and so yeah, that's how they recreated this volcanic sequence. And when you see it, you are going to be kind of blown away by it. It's pretty powerful because you see the water. It's really rough. So there's really no escape once you're if you're inside Pompeii. And Pliny the Younger talks about how his uncle was, on shore, and his uncle was talking about how an escape by sea was impossible because the waves were too rough and violent. So I think this movie does a pretty good job recreating the disaster scene. So I would highly recommend this movie, despite the fact that it's extremely derivative of Gladiator and other sword and sandal movies. Watch it mainly for Kiefer Sutherland. He does a really hammed up job as the Roman bad guy Corvus, and it's enjoyable too, just seeing him, just seeing his persona, his screen presence. It's pretty awesome. It was pretty cool seeing Kit Harrington in a role outside of the Game of Thrones. That was pretty awesome. And you know me, I'm a big sucker for these movies set in antiquity. So yeah, I really enjoyed the movie. And at the same time, I also liked the reenactment of the volcanic eruption of Pompeii. And today is the anniversary, so definitely check it out. Just don't expect it to be a masterpiece. But if you want, just to see what the eruption was like, you can watch this movie. And also read the letters from Pliny the Younger to Tacitus about Pompeii. And it's some pretty powerful and pretty scary stuff, just reading about it. To me, it's just powerful when you read about these really ancient incidents, and then you can relate it to today's world. And it's still the same stuff, you have all these people screaming, buildings falling. It's almost like it just happened yesterday when you read these letters. But yeah, give it a shot. What were your thoughts on this movie? If you've seen it already, if you haven't, what's stopping you? And I'll see you guys later.